that
Hold on, did you know he
running
sings?
for school board. You're an incumbent. In fact, you've been. Will this be your second term?
Yes, this will be my second term. Yeah. So we actually
Okay.
had 6 additional months when they changed moved our elections from May to November. So
Right.
yeah,
And what district? What district are you running for?
I represent Ward 3, which is the center of the city.
Uh-huh.
And that's the seat that I hold, but I support and I represent all of our students in Norfolk.
Well, education has been the panacea of most political activists topic. They I'm for education, but there's a level of education in it, and well, I should say that one size doesn't fit all. Would you agree?
I would agree. I do agree that one size does not fit all.
I don't want to get too much into this, but I can recall that having to take a standardized test
Mhm.
back in the day, everybody couldn't take a test back then. We weren't trained to take tests, and it really didn't show how much you knew, but how much you didn't know because of the exposure factor. Back in the day, when we were called Negroes, I can recall we were called Negroes, Black, and now we're African American, but they've always called us niggas. Yeah, I said it. And to the standpoint to be to disenfranchise us and to discourage us in terms of our academic aptitudes.
Mm-hmm.
But the glass ceiling has been broken, and education now has been deemed the panacea as to how much money or income one can make. Would you not agree?
I would agree, and I would agree in this aspect. One of the things that I'm really focused on, a lot of my colleagues agree in this respect, is what we really kind of broken down to consider the 3 E's. When a student comes through Norfolk Public Schools, we don't want them to just walk out the door with a diploma. We want them to walk out that door with the opportunities to be able to be employed, meaning that while you were in high school, you had the opportunity to earn certifications. Or if you decide that you don't want to go directly into the work and you decide that you want to do military service, we want to make sure that those options and those opportunities are presented to you. And ultimately, we also want those students who want to continue their education at a 2 or 4-year institution that they've been prepared for that. So the whole aspect of public education is not just the academics, but it's also creating great citizens. And this is where members of the community, our faith-based community, and others, we've opened the doors to Norfolk Public Schools so that we can work on the character. I listened to the respect of the seniors. Yes, we have to respect and honor our seniors as much as we have to also pour in and nurture our young people. And that takes bringing those different generations together. And I tell folks all the time with Norfolk Public Schools, you may not have a child, you may not have a grandchild or a great grandchild, you may just be that citizen in the community, but there's something that you can still do to make an impact in the life of a young person. Come in, read to a 2nd grader, read to a 3rd grader, be a mentor, be an accountability partner. We have so many young people who don't have that at home. The only place that they have structure is when they come into school. And what better place is the public schools are a microcosm of our communities. And if we want our communities to demonstrate love, then we need to also pour that back into the schools and to be there and be present for our young people.
I got a question.
Well, back early in my career, I stayed in middle school and elementary schools. And I think one of the things that stopped me from going was that there was this little kid and came up to me crying, and he says, I don't want to go home. And he told me why as it relates to the conditions in the parenting that he had. I mean, it literally broke my heart in some of the conditions that a lot of these children come from, and their parents will send them to public education for the educators to fix them. But, you know, education begins at home and with respecting the rights of others. And I tell you, you know, large families, you know, families that have more than 3 children, now that's pretty much a situation, because those kids have to learn early on how to respect one another's space or rights and concerns. But, you know, nowadays everything is so mechanized that the sensitivity, especially to all these, this is one of the reasons why we've had so many gang issues, because there's so many broken homes. There's so many that have the single families headed by women. There's no man anywhere now. There's got to be a man somewhere, because these children just ain't popping up by osmosis. And, you know, even the systems in terms of the social services punish the disenfranchised by not allowing the male to be around the home or to participate to establish structure. I mean, education is key, but there are some restrictive boundaries that need to be addressed if we're going to make this a more perfect union and a balanced society and community.
Yeah, I got a question for Carlos. I know. In my mentoring program, one of the things I try to do is prepare some of the teams for the ASVAB, the military testing program, and I'm finding a lot of them scoring low. Okay, not just in Norfolk, but all over. You know, a lot of our young men and women are scoring really low. Is there something Well, a lot of our men and women, Black men and women, are scoring low on the ASVAB. And I'm trying to see how we can reach out to the school boards to see if we can increase
tell me what that is.
The ASVAB is the military entrance exam that you get before you go into the military. Now, you score high, you can get any job you want in the military. Okay, but what I'm finding through our mentorship program is that a lot of them are scoring really low, and that concerns me. That concerns me.
But look at the educational system. I mean, a few years ago, you're finding out that people were entering high school that couldn't even read on the 3rd grade level. I mean, I don't know how that happened. But, especially in our communities, I mean, just like back in the day, remember when there were all these drug killings and assassinations in the street? You want to know why that was occurring? Because the kids couldn't count. They were mistaking $10 bills for $100 bills. And when they would get their money back to the main source and it was short, they got executed right then and there. I mean, a lot of people would think that I would be making that up until it was leaked out that was the problem. Our people have been disenfranchised, miseducated, diseducated, and misunderstood. And we have now been used as a tool for the past 75 years to obtain federal dollars to bolster up school boards and school systems based upon our disenfranchisement. But our ratio in terms of debt to worth, as well as being productive members of society and income, has not improved.
Well, Carlos, Glenda, I just want to ask a question.
You got to speak up, Glenda.
Okay, it must be her mic.
Okay.
The test that he's speaking of is only one form of administering that test. Is only just written examination versus oral.
Written examination versus
right. Exam. Because see, that has a problem because not everyone, even in the doctoral programs, that you can do an oral dissertation, or they have it's because a lot of people get stuck because of the time limits of getting certain portions of it, just like the LSAT.
Linda, in the real world, in the real world, a lot of the testing and the mechanisms that they put us through when I was coming about the standardized testing, I have not yet to this day had to use any of it. It's a bunch of bull crap that people put together in terms of testing, and they made money off of it. And the generations are no better. I think that people do better when they are able to work with their hands and be creative. Everybody ain't gonna be a school teacher. Everybody doesn't want to be a doctor. There are people who want to be carpenters, masons, and if you look